What's going on, party people? It's Chicago Tony V. Happy Monday morning. Wah wah. It's not always fun to start a Monday morning. All my NFL football is done. I have nothing to look forward to other than a big week of work. But that's okay. You got to work. You got to pay the bills, etc., etc. I thought it would be interesting to just let you in on my thinking process for a day from the perspective of someone who's trying to follow, something like the McDougall plan, etc., right? I'm trying to eat whole natural food in a world that doesn't want me to eat whole natural food, right? It seems like we're all doomed to failure, but that's not the case. I'm on my journey. I'm not perfect, and of course, our journey of healthful eating and health, it's really a never-ending journey, isn't it? Never-ending. At any rate, I've had many days of success, so I know it's doable. And if you are in a place where you're thinking, you know what, it seems impossible, I can't possibly do it. How can I eat just fruits and vegetables and healthy whole food and not get into the ring dings, etc., etc., etc.? If you're feeling like, gosh darn it, it's impossible, I totally get it. I was there for many, many years, and frankly, I think I could easily go back there. It's just that I've learned a bunch of stuff to do. I'm in a place now where we're heading into Thanksgiving here, for example, and if I backslid into my old ways, I'm not going to be in relapse for days and days and weeks and months like I might have been in the past, right? I've learned some things. So at any rate, I just thought it would be interesting to share with you my thinking for the day and how I approach a day as someone who's trying to live healthfully in this crazy, crazy world. So for me, the biggest thing, I am not a meal planner, so I don't have all my meals planned out. As I said today, I really don't know what I'm going to eat today necessarily. However, what I do know is how stocked is my kitchen. I am absolutely sure that my kitchen is stocked with healthy food. So, of course, a mainstay in my diet is healthy starches. So, do I have potatoes? Yes, I do. I have a fair amount of white potatoes and sweet potatoes. I have red potatoes as well. So I have a whole bunch of potatoes. Do I have rice? Oh, you'd better believe I do. I have, goodness gracious, someone trying to win the Indy 500 over there. I buy rice by the 25-pound bag. So, and I'm probably only 5 pounds into my 25-pound bag of rice right now. So I'm good on rice. What else do I have? Beans. I have a whole bunch of beans at home. I can get my starches that way. Now, so I'm good on starches. I am good to go. What will I have today? Well, one of what I mentioned, or multiple. Now, the other thing is, I like to eat greens. To me, it's very, very important. I can't just eat all starches. I know I could, but I'm trying to really honor calorie density and get my average calorie density down. So that means I'm going to infuse some greens into what I'm doing. So then the important question is, how are my greens looking? And the answer is really pretty good. I still have a very nice head of romaine lettuce in the fridge, and I have a nice pre-washed bag of spinach. So I am good to go. If I had to guess, I would say that probably what I will have today is sliced sweet potato, baked, kind of slice them into almost like chips. Not that thin, but nice slices. And I'll just pile some greens on top of that and eat that. I doubt that I'll have a single sauce, nothing. Now, I do have very healthy dressings at home just in case I feel like, some flavor. I really like the Well Your World dressings and sauces. I think they do a great job. They're salt-free, oil-free, sugar-free, and that's great. So if I want a little bit of flavor, I'll do that. Maybe they make a nice a balsamic, really nice balsamic dressing. I have a ton of that. They make a maybe kind of like a Dijon or honey mustard. I can't remember exactly the wording, but kind of a mustard flavored one I really like. So maybe I'll do that. So that's really, as I go throughout my day and think about how am I going to eat healthfully, that's really my first question. What in the world do I have in the house? Am I good to go? Now, the other question is roughly when am I going to eat? Am I going to have an opportunity to prepare my food in a way? Am I giving myself enough time? Am I going to be in the right location? And generally, the answer to that is yes. Although today is a little bit odd for me because I'm actually not entirely sure how my day is going to play out. So I'm going to need to be a little flexible and just, in a sense, deal with the day as it comes to me. But I think all in all, it's going to be pretty good. Somewhere in my day today, I will have enough time to prepare everything I need to prepare. And I'm going to be just fine. And you know what? If I don't have time to prepare, I have backup plans as well. First of all, I can just fast. Okay? That's not the end of the world. I did earlier this year, I did a 12-day water fast. So can I fast for a half a day or even a whole day? Absolutely no problem. And to me, that's a better choice than, going to Outback and getting a bloomin' onion or whatever franken food they serve at places like that these days. So I can fast. And my other plan B is, are there meals that I can get on the road in a pinch? And the answer is yes. Yes, there are. So one of my go-tos, believe it or not, I like going to a Chinese restaurant. Anyone will do. They all do this. I go to a nice Chinese restaurant and I order one of those containers of steamed rice. White rice is fine. And I make sure to have some apples with me. And I just have steamed rice and apples. Perfectly fine. I think it was John McDougall that talks often about that rice and fruit diet. I can't remember the name of the fellow who ran that system. But yeah, that guy just did rice and fruit. And he cured people of all sorts of stuff. So that's my backup. So if I can just keep my wits about me, if my day is not too overly stressful, I should be just fine. I have the food I need. I have a plan in place. I have backup plans in place and should be good to go. Maybe where I'm at now could be characterized as non-beginner. I've had a bunch of experience, and by the way, I'm just a dude. I'm just another bozo on the bus. I'm not some sort of expert by any means. But I will tell you that I have had some experience, and so if you're at a place where you're just starting, trust me, I know how it feels to just think, my God, how can I even get started? How is this even possible? Well, I would say don't worry about that. Just start. Then you would say, well, how do I just start? Well, a couple of things. First of all, you can just ingest some information. So if you don't have a clear idea of what you should be doing, if you like to read, pick up one of the books by the greats. I think The Start Solution by John McDougall is absolutely fabulous, tremendous. That's a great place to start. I think Chef AJ has some great books. Now, full disclosure, I haven't read Chef AJ's books. I think just because by the time I realized that she had books, I had a fair bit of experience, but I have no doubt that her books are tremendous. Pick up one of her books, or you can watch lectures, watch videos. So get an idea. That's one thing you can do today. Just learn a little bit. If you're still addicted to Funyuns and Charleston Chew bars and all that stuff, good luck to you, but it's not the end of the world, right? It's not the end of the world, I promise. And so ingest some information. If maybe that's all you can do today, that's fine. But another thing you can do today is, I'm not saying put down the Funyuns and the Charleston Chew bars. I'm not necessarily saying that. But I'm saying an idea for you today is at least try to put some healthy food in your pie hole today, right? It's not the end of the world. So what does that mean? It could. I just mentioned my fallback plan, right? Is white rice and apples. Maybe just try that. I'm not saying replace Funyuns and Charleston Chews with white rice and apples, but I'm saying maybe you could run a little experiment, make a little game of it, and say, okay, I'm going to have white rice and an apple first, and then I'm going to allow myself to eat as many Funyuns and Charleston Chews as I care to. That's fine. If that's where you can start, no problem. Start there. I know for sure that living this way does not start with perfection, nor does it end with perfection, nor is there perfection anywhere in the middle, okay? It's like Doug Lyle says, what we need to be aiming for is good enough. That's what we need to be trying to be, is good enough. So I'm on my way to see an oral surgeon right now. Don't you want to be me right now? Aren't you jealous? So I'm going to go see this guy, see what he says. He's going to look at some work that he did in the past, so we'll see how it goes. And if I can think of something else to say today, I'll check back and I'll say it. But if this is it, so be it. This is from the food addiction subreddit. Rant. People not taking my addiction seriously. Sorry if my tone is kind of harsh in this post. I'm just really frustrated right now. I'm so tired of people not taking food addiction and binge eating disorder seriously. I literally got bullied in high school for my weight, and I would go home crying every day, and the girls that were skinny and starving themselves got all the sympathy. I've been made fun of all of my life for my food issues, and while my skinny and pretty friends got all of the positive attention. My brother has substance abuse issues, and I have my food issues. Guess who gets all of the support and attention while I am left to rot? I know food is not as lethal as meth and cocaine and all of that, but food is much more prevalent in everyday life than drugs are. There are so many resources and rehab programs for drug addiction, but food addiction is not even recognized by the DSM. I wonder what the DSM is. DSM, Daily Substantive Mojo. I don't know what DSM stands for, but I know where you're coming from, Miss Food Addiction rant person, and I feel your pain. It definitely doesn't feel fair. I totally get it, but I actually think, to be honest, I think you should thank your lucky stars, whoever you are, that you have a food addiction and not a drug addiction. I have often thought to myself, if I had a drug addiction, I'd be dead. No way. I would be dead. thankfully, food has a long enough kind of slow burn that usually you don't die. You at least have a chance to turn things around. Okay, so thank your lucky stars. My main feeling for this person is if you're waiting for attention and sympathy and justice, it's never going to happen. What you need to focus on is getting yourself out of the hole that you're in. I would focus on building a tribe. There are people, who are very sympathetic to what you're going through, right? Because there are many, many, many people going through this food addiction thing. I've said many times before, I was a member of Overeaters Anonymous for many, many years. That's something to try. That's a place where you can go to. And when you say, like, I can't, put down Milky Ways, Doritos are calling my name in the middle of the night, whatever. I'm crazy with food. Everyone in that room is going to say, yep, me too. All right. So that's great. Now, I believe the food addiction thing is very, very, it's simple, but it's also complicated. It's simple in that it's like, we just need to put down processed food. That's the answer. If we put down processed food, eventually we are no longer going to be addicted, and we're going to live happy, healthy lives, or at least healthy lives. We're going to reduce down to a normal body weight. Everything's going to be great, but of course, easier said than done. There's the rub. People don't know how difficult this is. That's why you're not getting the attention and support you feel like you need. People just think, well, all you need to do is buckle down. Just focus. Oh, you must not really want it. That's why you haven't put down the fork yet. You must not really want it. So you're just never going to get the sympathy you feel you need. So why don't you just focus on finding your tribe? I think you can find it online. I'm reading your comment on the Reddit while you're in a food addiction subreddit, right? So maybe you've already found your tribe. Speaking of this, by the way, this is a good reminder. I'm actually doing free Zoom calls every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, for anyone who wants to hang out and shoot the shit regarding food addiction. That's it. Kind of think of it as an OA meeting, but not OA sponsored and not, yes, anonymous, but you don't necessarily have to talk about all the other steps unless you want to, whatever, that's fine. Everyone's welcome. I'll put the details in the description of this video. Anyway, that's what you need to do. Find your tribe. Okay? All right. I just thought this was an interesting little thing today. By the way, anyone who's still watching this, everything at the dentist went fine. Thank you. All right. Well, it's been a pretty interesting afternoon. So I ended up meeting a friend for lunch, kind of impromptu. So if I remember correctly, I was waxing poetic this morning about my different plans for what I was going to eat and what I was going to do and what I had in the fridge, and if I got caught out and about, what I was going to do. Well, all of that ended up going out the window, and I ate at a restaurant with a friend. So everything went fine. I ended up, no big deal. I ended up ordering a veggie burger and a plain baked potato, and life goes on. Everything was good. Everything was good. No problem. So, were there parts of the meal that were a pain in the butt and not what I would normally choose? Yeah, of course. But everything was fine. No big deal. So I do think that's going to be my last meal of the day, though. Like, it's about 3 o'clock now. There's a bun, there's some sort of sauce on something, so just a little bit gross. Not quite what I planned to do. So I'm just going to, I think that'll be it for the day. Again, because I have a little bit of a history of fasting, this idea of one meal today is just not a big deal. It's not scary to me at all. It's fine. So tonight, maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe I'll be famished. I kind of doubt it, but maybe so. If so, whatever. I'll make a salad. Maybe I'll slice up a little bit of sweet potato, and I'll be good to go. I will report also, I got some exercise today, which is great because I've been under the weather for a while. So I did a rowing machine today. Not a ton. I rowed probably 20-25 minutes. No big deal. But it felt really good to get back and to get some sort of activity under my belt. So, all in all, pretty decent day. I was thinking more about that Reddit post. And, the more I think about it, I think it's really, what would I say, kind of like a cry for help. As I think I said earlier, I understand this wanting to get attention and everything. But I think what that probably really means is I need help. I can't do this on my own, which in a sense I think is very correct. The good news is, for anyone who is stuck in food addiction, I really believe that there's such good information out there now that you're going to be fine. If you just take this on as a very serious project, and if you endeavor to learn what is the nature of your problem, I think you're going to be fine. You're going to need to really dip into some of the big thinkers, Doug Lisle, John McDougall, Joel Furman, etc., etc., etc. But you're going to be fine. You'll get there, and try to find a support group. Maybe it's something like Overeaters Anonymous. Maybe it's hanging out in the Reddit forums and asking for help, trying to make friends that way. Who knows? But again, the good news is there's great information out there. I don't think anyone has to suffer anymore to the extent that they need to get removed, extricated from their house because they're too big. I'm just saying. Okay, I like you. Thank you for watching. A couple days till Thanksgiving. Do you have your plan ready? Let's not get blindsided by Thanksgiving. Okay, you're good. Thank you for watching. Talk to you later.